Hey everyone, come craft with me. Let's use up some more of those pesky old security envelopes that we all have lying around the house. Well, I know I do. So we need to use some of these up. So today's the day. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's keeping sane. I think I've gone a little bit loopy, but that's nothing unusual. So at the beginning of this video, you would have seen a list of stuff that you need to craft along with me. So, of course, we will need our security envelopes. We will need some book pages. Now, you don't necessarily have to use book pages. You can use scrapbook paper, you can use magazine pages, you can use anything you fancy. I have just got some this old book that I've got to use up. So I've ripped some pages out of here. It's just one of those When Calls the Heart, a romance novel. So there's book pages. We will need some gesso to cover up our writing and stuff on these envelopes. You don't have to use it, of course. You can have all this showing. It will show a little bit. It won't be covered completely, but it will just tone it down a fraction. So you will need gesso. This is just a primer that I got from Aldi's last year. I grabbed a couple of bottles. I think I have one bottle left. So as you can see, I don't have much left in here. I prefer this than Montmartre. You don't have to use gesso. You can use acrylic paint. You can use anything you fancy. Or you can just leave it without gessoing. Doesn't matter. We also need some fabric, some sheer fabric that you can see through. If you don't have any sheer fabric, you can use napkins. You can use pretty pictures out of magazines, whatnot. It doesn't matter. All we're using it for is to place inside our security window, inside the envelope. So the choice is yours what you want to use. But today I want to use some fabric. So we'll need our fabric. We will also need, you've got the gesso, also need some paint brushes, of course, and some water to rinse our paintbrushes out with. Our Mod Podge. Now this is almost empty, so it saves me trying to dip right into the bottom of that. I've got some in here. So there's that. You will also need some fabric glue of your choice, or some tacky glue, just whatever glue you want to use. This is just Helmar glue. I get this from Spotlight, which is a craft store here in Australia. So anyway, I think that's about it, guys. Oh, and of course napkins. You'll need napkins. Yes, we will need napkins. So what I will do is, I've got some napkins here. I will pick out a few that I have, and we'll see if they will work with our envelopes. If they don't, well, there's no harm in seeing if they will. I only need to make one on camera with you guys, unless you really want to watch more. Oh, look at that. Is that one? There we go. I'll swap that out. That one's already used, so I'll swap that out with that one. There we go. So let's see what works with what fabric. So we've got ourselves a couple of envelopes. Just want to have a sip of my coffee. It has taken me all day to get sorted to make this video, guys. I spent most of the morning on the phone. Every time I tried to attempt it, the phone would ring. So there was that issue. Then I decided, because I need the sewing machine for this particular project, I could have taken everything upstairs, but I thought, no, I'll clean off my sewing machine table that I have here, because I have an old 401A Singer down here, which I love. I'll see if I can find a picture. If I do, I'll stick it up in here for you to have a look at. If not, I'll take one and I'll stick it up here for you guys to have a look at. So I've got my sewing machine, which I will use. Obviously not on camera, because otherwise I've got to take everything over there, set it all up, and the video will take longer, and which it probably will because I'm chatting a lot. So anyway, so you'll need your sewing machine. So once I found my sewing machine buried underneath, you know, the mess that one gathers, the tension wasn't quite right, so I pulled the tension mechanism off it, you know, the little tension wheel dial, pulled all that off, blew it all out, got rid of dust and, well, you know, fabric, lint and stuff. There wasn't much in there, actually, surprising. So I pulled that apart, redid it, and she works like a charm. Like, she does miss a stitch every now and then, but that's only because the needle's like 100 years old. Well, not quite, but and I couldn't really be bothered changing it because, like, honestly, she's a good machine, and to miss a stitch here and there, who cares? Okay, so let me put my coffee aside, and what am I doing? Yes, let me cut these. So what I will do is grab my handy dandy guillotine for this purpose, and I'll chop all three at once and be clever, because I'm pretty sure they're all the size and the little hole things in the same spot. So let's see if I can be clever. If not, I apologize, but yeah, who knows what I can achieve. Okay, so what I normally try and do is give myself at least a centimetre on the other side of my see how, oh, that's inches. That's inches. Okay, so see here, you've got roughly a centimetre. This is roughly a centimetre wide, this guard. So I allow myself 1 centimetre from the window over to cut, if that is making sense. So I'll line up my window. Probably a little mill off is okay, as you can see. And let's do it. So we'll chop that. Yes, 3 at one go. Look at that. Magic. So I'll put that under there, and I will get out my handy dandy letter opener, and I will slit the bottom like so, and I shall slit the top, or your top might already be slit. See, I've trained everybody to just slightly cut a little slither off and open it that way to pull the mail out. Haha, see? You got to train these people to do that. Otherwise you end up with a ripped top and it just frustrates me. But hey, what can you do? Okay, so let me open up these quickly. And I will do this. So we slit our envelopes. There it is. Slit and slit. Did I slit that all the way through? Yes. All right. So now we have like a little booklet. Now I'm going to be off frame. Might have to spin. Bear with me, guys. There we go. How's that? Ah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, don't mind the noise, guys. We've road's pretty busy out there lately. It's like people think all this lockdown's finished. It's rather busy out there. Okay, so these little bits here, don't throw them away. You can make Franken pockets out of them. I'll leave a link to one of my videos up in the corner to how to make those, or you can decorate them any way you so wish. So I'll put these aside and we will do this. So let me get my gesso. Now a dry brush is good for this because you only need to slightly cover your envelope here. Let me get something underneath here because I am going to make a mess. I just know it. I know it. I know it. Oh, I'll grab one of these sheets that I collage over. Okay. So we give that a coat. And then I like to run a little bit over because the gesso is a little different to the envelope. You can tell where you've put it because it's a different colour. And it just helps the napkin grab as well, just that little bit better with the glue. So I only do the front. I don't worry about the back. Okay, so I'll put that aside to dry. So there's nothing on the back really. And we'll do this one quickly. This one's a little bit darker here, so you might need to do a couple of coats. But I like to see what things are made out of, if they're recycled and stuff. So having a little bit show through doesn't concern me at all. Okay. So it's just to do that. All right. So normally I have a production line going and I do, now I will do another one because I can do this later, just while I'm waiting for that first one to dry. Goopy bit. Like I said, this is fairly old. It's bound to have goopy bits in there. Oh, get off. There we go. All right. So yes, it's very nice to be down here in my dungeon again. And now winter's on its way here in Australia. It's going to be a lot more pleasurable to be down here. Okay, so let me get rid of that. I'll put this in my water. And I'll just turn this over because I will use that side. So let me just put these up here on this little shelfy thing called a laptop to dry my envelopes. And sorry for the snort, guys. It just happens sometimes. Okay, so let's see if I can make that dry to the touch. That's all we need to do for now. So I'm just going to turn it. I should have my heat gun set up, shouldn't I, guys? Okay, just bear with me. Bear with me. It's here. I know it's here. Alrighty. Well, it's not technically a heat gun. It's a one of them. Okay. It's one of these embossing things. Hubby picked it up from, I think it was Lifeline. See, it's not noisy. It's wonderful. Yeah, just don't get too close to your envelope window because it will melt. Believe me, it'll all shrivel up like a shrinky toy. Okay, so there's that. That's done. Yeah, so he picked that up from an op shop for me. I didn't even notice it. He did. And he goes, would this do? And this was like 3-4 years ago. And it works perfectly. It's just one of those embossing heat tools. See? Okay, now that we've done that, I will put in my book pages. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Okay, so I like to get the book pages where I've got a big gap here. because we can use that on our back and front. It doesn't have to meet all the way up, because I'll show you what we can do with that soon. So I'll stick this back bit on first. Let me just see if there's anything here that's going to poke through that window that shouldn't be red. Because, you know, sometimes you just look at those things and go, oops. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Nobody's going to read anything that they don't want to, you know, read. Okay, guys. So we're going to handy dandy glue. This is just Study Mate glue stick. Oh, and we all need a glue stick. See, I'm not reading my list. Study Mate from Spotlight, which, not Spotlight, Office Works, which is a stationery store here in Australia. They sell all office supplies. I'm not sure whether New Zealand or any other country has one, but that's where I get my glue. Alright. So let me just position it. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight because we can always trim. And I'll just grab my card because I need to spread that out. And scissors. Yes, my ninja scissors. Sorry, what are they? Zombie scissors. Apocalypse. So I'll trim that off so I know where I'm at. So there's our book page. The reason I like to use these book pages is it gives you nice aging. You can still see the print through the back slightly, and it makes another journaling spot or writing spot for you to write on. These, of course, I will keep. So I'll put that aside. Put my letter opener over there. I won't need that now. Okay, so this here is the only tricky bit out of the whole lot. So what you've got to do is grab your fabric, and you need to determine which fabric you want in the window. And sometimes the back of the fabric's prettier than the front of the fabric. Alright, so see that just fits. So it's not going to give me much gluing room because it literally just fits that window. So I'll grab a thicker or a wider piece of fabric, something about that wide, where I don't know whether you can, there we go, that's better. So you've got a gluing space on either side of your window. So we might use that piece. This is the first piece I picked up. Why not? So is that the front or the back? Right, that's the front because it's slightly brighter. So let's glue that. Bit of fabric glue around the outside of your window. Just go doosh, doosh, doosh. Around we go, just like that. Alright. And you don't have to line it up, you just have to get it over that window and push down. Look at that. That's all we need. I'll just spread that out so it doesn't pucker. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, guys. Just beautiful. Alright. So I'll now trim that off. These are the best scissors. They're good for everything. They're so sharp. Alright. I don't even know where I got them from. I think they come in a pack of 4 or 5 different sorts. that I picked up probably from Aldi's. There you go. Okay, so we have that. So then we grab our other book page and we stick it over the top of that one, like so. So because this is fabric, I like to use fabric glue. So I'll just do a quick little line across here because it will help the paper stick to it just a little bit better than, what do you call that, glue stick. I'm having mental blanks, guys. I think it's hormones, 50-year-old hormones kicking in. I'm getting memory loss or something. I don't know. And I'll put glue stick up this end. So we don't need to waste our fabric glue because it's pretty expensive. All right, like so. So we're not going to worry too much because we will sew it down. So that's the point of the sewing machine. All right, you can blanket stitch around the outside. You don't need a sewing machine. You can always blanket stitch. Like I said, don't worry too much about this bit because I'll show you what we do there. But look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? All right. So we'll give this a trim. And get rid of that. And of course I cut the end of my book off because that's just the way I roll. I can't cut straight to save my life. Anyway, oh dear. All right, so we have that. So let me move my scissors and put the lid on this. We don't need, do we need that? Maybe, a bit later. Okay, now with these bits here, they fit perfectly in the middle, guys. I know the writing's upside down, but by the time we're finished, nobody's going to know. And I might keep it that whole width. Let's see how it looks. Let me see. Is that going to look okay? Or is it going to look too big? Might trim it down a fraction. So let me grab this out again. Like I said, I can't cut straight to save my life. So, and I'll just take a centimetre off. Oh, just a flat edge. So I'll cut just below the page number. And I can keep that and use those. And I'll cut, no, it's not a straight edge. I'll turn it that way. No, can't turn it that way. Follow the line, really. Oh, duh. All right. So if I make that 2 on the 2-inch mark and line that up square with that, we should be reasonably straight. Look at that. Proud. Proud moment. All right. So let's fold this in half now. I'm happy with that size. Now, if I can find the middle. It's being able to see. That's the problem. I need new glasses. Alrighty. So, do we want upside down or downwards? I'll do it downwards. Yeah, that's a nice size to go in the middle there. Yep. Alright. So now we have that piece. It's up to you whether you want to gesso the words, but me personally, I'll just leave them like that. Okay, now on to the next step. We need our envelopes. And we need to see which pattern is going to fit nice over the front so we can still see our window. So if I put that there in the middle, what am I going to lose on the front? We're going to lose that section. We get our butterfly in. But I don't think it will go too well with that blue, to be honest. So, on to the next napkin. You can be as finicky as you want. All right, but I just think if you're going to do it, you do it properly. All right, what else have we got here? Well, we've got 2 blue napkins here. So, how about we see which one of these we want to use on the front. Of course, this one doesn't have the backing off it. It does now. Look at that. Of course, we keep those. They're good for collaging over boxes. I know, I still have to do that video. I'm pretty slack. All right, so how much of this bird are we going to lose? So if I line that up there, okay, we'll move it down, just so his head, right down to the bottom. How about that? Just so I get his head in. And all I'm going to lose, technically, is his tail. That's all I'm going to lose. Oh, I'm off screen. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's all. As you can see the window in there just. So we're only going to miss out on his tail. So I might go... I don't know. Let me have another look. I've got another napkin here. Oops. So let me take the backing off that. See how I should have been organised. Not organised. This is just how it rolls. All right. So how about this one? If I put you up the top. Oh, actually you might be better. Yeah. I'm liking you better. Sorry, little buddy. You can go on the next one. All right. So now we have that. What we now do, I mean, you can always do it in any particular order that you want. That's fine. This is just the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to have it go just under there. And so I only lose this little bit in the window here. All right. So I tack my paper down with a little bit of glue stick, guys. Just a tack, because we're going to Mod Podge over it. I just want to hold it in place. So I don't, I've just lost where I was. See? All right. So we just leave that in place, like so. Is that going to... See, that's too far down. I've moved it. Good job, Riley. Now, I just wanted to... just so that word shows there. Just like so. There we go. I got it. Got it. All right. And then I like to tack this little bottom bit and the side. So that way we can cut our window out without our everything moving on us. All right. So to cut the window, I will grab my water brush here. Yes, there's water in it. These are just my watercolor brushes. As you can see, I use, this is my green one. I'll just get some water flowing. Just, there we go. And let's just cut this window out. Just wet your napkin enough to free up those fibres So you can just look at that, pull. And I'll just give that a little pull. Excuse my fingers being in the road. I'm just trying to pull it without actually ripping it from the envelope. We just want where the window goes. I don't want to... where I've lost it here where my blue is. It goes down there. Alright. There we go. So, there we go. So now we can see our window. There's a little bit of a raggedy edges here of the napkin, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let me trim a little bit across here. I'll just go straight across here. I might have to dip it in my clean water bottle here just to wet that a little bit more. So I just want to rip the whole napkin now. So I need it fairly damp, so I'm pulling it away from up here. You can cut it, but while I've got my water brush out, I might as well just wet it a little bit. There we go. So there we go. So we get rid of that, so that's not in the road. All right. Beautiful. Now, we'll open this up and we'll work our way backwards. So what I will do is just pull that a little bit until we come to that glue stick. I will grab a soft brush and my Mod Podge. And I'll put a little bit of water on that. Where's my cloth? Just enough to wet the brush a little bit. Just helps it glide across the paper a bit more. So we try and avoid our window. Hope you can see okay, guys. And we just give our paper, or envelope I should say, or paper, it all depends on what you're making it out of, a bit of a coat, and we lay that down just like so. Look at that. Alright, now we'll do this side. Sometimes you can pull it back a little bit. Try and get under there. Smooth that down. Alright, so now that we have that smoothed down, I'll just try and put a bit under here. I'll probably rip it on me. No, I'll wait. Alright, I'll do this back bit. Alright. So nice and easy. You don't have to pile it on. It's a very thin coat, just enough for your napkins to stick, because you don't need it that wet to start with. Okay, so we'll just slowly ease this down. Try not to get too many wrinkles, says me, who makes lots of wrinkles. Alright, there we go. Now we're on to something. Alright. Glue down the rest of that. Made it big. The good thing about Mod Podge is it's very forgiving to a certain point. You can pull it back up quickly. Well, not quickly, but you know what I mean. If you hurry. All right, so now we have that. So what I want to do now is I want to trim my napkin off. So let me grab this. Just thought I've got my phone on silent. I just thought I heard it vibrate. All right, let me trim. Oops. Like I said, I can't cut to save my life. See? I think I just straightened that up kind of. You could use your water brush to pull it off, I suppose, but I just want to use my scissors. I need all the practice I can get. I might move that before I end up putting a whole heap of napkin in it. I'm not sure whether you can see. Alright, nearly there, done. So I'll move that across because that will go onto my drop sheets and I'll collage that on. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, why are you like that? Alright, so now we have this. We get our Mod Podge and we give it a reasonably firm and thick coat. You don't want to rip your napkin, which I have a very good track record of doing. You just want to, this is why a soft brush works wonders, because you can just glide that across there. Let that sink in. All right. Let's try and push that down on the envelope without ripping my napkin. I don't want to play with it too much because it will get reasonably wet. But when it's dry to the touch, I can then, you know, tacky dry-ish, I can push it down and it will stick as well. Okay. So this is the second week of homeschooling. The boy is going to be in trouble. Well, last week he kind of missed a few lessons because he didn't know what was going on because it was a learning curve. So I'm thinking we're getting emails from last week about it. But anyway, no, they're doing good. He's doing good. He's settling in all right with this homeschooling thing. It's only the second weekend. So 4 more weeks to go. Or 3, something like that. Alright, so let's finish this. It's looking good. But like I said, you can use wood glue, PVA glue mixed with water. You can use matte medium. I've just got my Mod Podge that I want to try and use before I open my new bottle up. So nearly there. Nearly there. So once this is dry, we will then move on to the next step. Alright. I think I've got everything. Just pat that down. If you see any lumps, just give it a quick pat down so we can get that stuck to our envelope underneath. Doesn't matter if it's not completely stuck, it's going to be sewn on. Alrighty. So let me just put, don't play with it, Rayleigh. Don't play with it. So I keep playing with it. It's just one little air bubble there that's bugging me. Alright, so let me put this aside. I'll put this up here on my shelf there, or laptop. And we will cover up this bit here. So this bit's going to go down the spine, obviously. So we might need a wider piece of napkin, and I'm going to use the same design as the napkin. So I might use, do we want that? No, I might use the light blue actually. Might use this one. No. Change of mind again. I'll use this one. Alright. No, I won't. This is why, guys, this is why I find it hard to do videos, because I just really can't make up my mind what I'm doing half the time. Alright. So I want to give this a coat in Mod Podge. I think I put a bit too much on there, but that's okay. That's okay. And I'll just move that over so I'm not getting Mod Podge all over everything else. And let me try and line this up as best as possible, guys. And I'll take the paintbrush out of my mouth, which you might be able to hear what I'm saying. Okay. Let's try and line this up as best as I possibly can without too much. Oh, look at that. I couldn't have been more perfect if I tried. All right. And we'll trim that off slightly. We'll trim that. And we'll remove that napkin. I don't need that any longer. Well, not for this purpose anyway. What I will do is I will make some more journaling cards out of the napkins that I have left over. I'll leave a link to that video if you want to watch that. Craft with me and let's make journaling cards. So, oops, off camera again. Alright, so now that has a coat of Mod Podge. Let me just scrape what I can off my brush. Alright. Let's move you aside over here for now. Just for now. Alright. Let's move you. Now let me check this out and see how we're going with this. Oh yeah. Let's give it a push. Alright. Chuck that in my water. I've got two waters going here, guys. I've got one for glue and one for paints and stuff. Okay, so let me give this, I'll just cover up this because I don't want it to burn or melt, and I'll just give it a quick dry with this, speed up the process. So once we've dried, I'll do this as well because we need this one dry too. The only reason I put my fingers there is so I can feel the heat, so I don't get too close to that that plastic. because I don't want it to melt on me at this stage. Otherwise, you know, you've got to start all over again. And it's not very helpful when that happens. So, okay, you can feel it a little bit on my hand. I'll just move this up so you can see. So once I feel a bit of heat on my hand, I know I'm coming too close to the window. It's very hot, these things. It's amazing how hot they can get. All right, I suppose embossing, it needs to be hot, doesn't it? Okay, how are we going? It's still wet to the touch. Yeah, that's the way I like it. Right there, like that. Look at that. Okay. So while that's drying a little bit more, let me just push this down. Let me get my brayer out. I don't want to use the card at this point, so I'll just roll my brayer across just to help push that Mod Podge down onto the envelope, and it just helps get rid of some of those little air bubbles in there. All right. Okay. Let's trim that bit off there. All right, that is looking awesome. So there's that. Guys, that's how we're looking so far. Yeah? Okay. Please tell me I didn't just rip that. Probably. I won't go down here too much because it's still a little bit wet, because I've had to avoid that spot, obviously, because of the heat. All right, how are we going here? Yeah. That's what I need. Now, like I said, you don't have to use napkins on here. You can use scrapbooking paper, anything you want. I'm just using it because I've covered this with napkin. That's all. All right. Now, this little baby will get put right in there, like so. All right. But now, what I've got to do is I've got to take this to the sewing machine. What I will do, though, is cut off. I just want to put that here. Sorry, guys. I know I'm all over the place. I just want to put that here so I can measure here. Okay, let me grab a pencil. Not that that helps, really. I'll do it a little bit below that. That'll give me enough room then. I won't be too short. No, that's good, because I can always trim that off. Okay, so I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew down this side of that, down that side of here, so both sides of this. I'm not going to do the top yet. So once I've done that, I will be back and I'll show you why I'm not doing the top yet. Okay, so I'll just run over to the sewing machine and I will be back. Okay, guys, I've sewn down either side of this. So that's all I've done. The top part's green and the bottom part's brown. It's only because that's what I've got in my machine at this point in time. So you can leave your strings on, you can cut them off, or your threads, I should say. I'm just going to trim these off because they're going to be in the middle, I suppose. I don't know. Just trim them off a little bit. Now, this bit here, now that I've sewn, can be stuck down in the middle here. So let me find the middle again, where our middle of our little booklet here it will be. So that needs to be stuck down. So what I like to do is line up our top, because we can always trim the bottom, And I like to push it up against the spine here. So this bit here is pushed up against the spine. So what I'm going to use on this is I'm going to use a bit of tacky glue. I'll just try and... I've nearly used up most of this. Let's have a sip of my coffee. I keep forgetting it's here. It's probably stone cold. Stone cold, but that's all right. I've got an iced coffee now. All right, so bit of tacky glue along here. This is Eileen, something like that. I bought it on eBay a while ago. It's an American glue, I think. It's good. It's really good. Lasts a long time. So I'll just smooth that out. And let me just close that up. Still pushing that up towards our centre. There we go. So we've got that side done. And the good thing about it is it's very forgiving. So you've got plenty of time to move things around to make sure that it's all where it should be. So there we go. So we have that. Now we do this side. Oh wait. There we go. No. still slowly coming down to the bottom. There we go. Alrighty. So we do that. I hope you are all enjoying crafting along with me if you have got your stuff and you're playing. Because I enjoy doing them. I'm just a bit worried that they're very long sometimes. I get told by people that they like my chatty long videos, but then other people are kind of get on with it. So you can't keep everyone happy, I suppose. But I love yous all, and I'm thankful that yous come and watch me play when I can make a video. I enjoy doing them for you guys. All right, so now that we've done that, I'll just give it a push down and a trim, and there's that bit done. I'll just trim that off. Like I said, I can't cut straight, so it's that, and I'll just give this top bit a little trim. Okay, so now I've done that, and the only reason I sewed this first, as if you guessed, is because we're not sewing through the front and the back of our booklet. So there's that. So now I'm going to take this whole thing over to the sewing machine. If you wanted to sew around this window, I would have done that first before I put the book page on here. So if you wanted to, you could have covered it. If you want to sew around the outside of this window, I would have put the napkin on first, then your fabric, and then I would have sewn and then stuck the book page over the front. But I find that I did do that with a couple, but I found that the stitching was very lumpy. Not lumpy, but wasn't very good to journal on, whereas this stays reasonably, flat. So choice is yours. It's your booklet. You can do what you want. So I'm going to take this to the machine, and I'm going to sew all the way around the outside of this. Yeah, and I will be back. Okay guys, I am back. So it's all been sewed. I started from the bottom and I sewed all the way around the outside. So this is how we are looking. We're looking like that. So let me go ahead and I might leave them on for now. I'll have a think about that. My tension's a little bit off look at that. I'll have to adjust that a little bit more proper, I think. But no, other than that, it looks pretty good. Okay, so now you can distress the edges if you want. I should have done that before I put the Mod Podge on, guys. I missed that step. My blending tools upstairs, because I was working on something up there last night. So I've just got this. It's just a cardboard reel out of a till docket, and I've used some, you know, those diffuser pads that you put oils on that you can wear in necklaces and stuff like that. It's just those. So I'll just use that for now, and just ink up these edges a little bit. I should have done it first. So note to self, put your ink on first, otherwise it's not going to really stick to the Mod Podge, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I should have done that first. But that's okay. Let's just do that. So, not that you can tell from that distance, but just give it a little bit of an ink. This is just distressed oxide, gathered twigs. But yes, it should have been done beforehand. Let's give that a rub in. There we go. And I'll go over the top just a little bit. Let's grunge it up a little bit. Look at that. Right. See how we've just grunged all that up a little bit so it's not so white. There we go. Okay, so now we have that. Then we've got to figure out what pages we want to put inside. Now we can put in, let me have a look, see, I've got a little packet of papers in here, so why not use, let's have a look, what have I got here? Now, I don't want to use graph paper. How many pages will we have? Let me have a think here. How many pages will we have? I reckon maybe three. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Not organised as usual. 3. Might use a little bit of this to, might use some of that in there. All right, so this is mulberry paper or rice paper. So I do sell that in my Etsy shop if you're interested. So I'll use a little bit of that. And I'll also use, might do some lines. Let's have a look. Maybe that one. Yeah. I'll do some lined paper. Some mulberry paper. And some plain copy paper. Do I have plain copy paper? Not in this one, no, I don't. Why is that so? Alright. Oh, Oh, do I have to dig through that box? Oh, I think I've got to dig through this box. Right. Let me reach up and grab my box of Tito papers. Alright. It's a tub full of papers. So let's, oh, it's a bit blurry. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's pull out a page. Let's pull out a page. Put my tub back. All right. Is it going to focus? Come on. Focus. I think I broke it. Okay, guys, I thought I had broken it. But it's all focused now. It's all ready to go. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make sure that these lines go across. So if I turn that way to put in my book, my little booklet, the lines are going to go the wrong way. So, and if I put it that way, I'm not going to get 2 pages because it's going to be too short. So I need to join some of this together with just any piece of paper you want. So I've already done that while I was trying to get this camera fixed. So I'll show you what I've done. So if you play it right and you don't measure, you cut it to the size, literally just inside your booklet, as you would any other journal. I need to trim that, obviously. I will do that. Let me have a look at the middle. Yeah, okay. So I need to trim that. So I'll get out my handy dandy little thingy here because I've become lazy. And I'll just trim that off, that edge, just like so. Now that should fit just nice in there, like that. So I did end up using graph paper. I found a little bit as I was doing 2 pages. I did find that. So what I will do now is take this to the sewing machine. I mean, this is totally your choice. You can leave as is and just glue, you know, the edges down properly. But I'm going to take it and sew. So I'm going to end up with sewing on here and sewing here. So I'm going to end up with 2 strips because I'm going to sew this side and then I'm going to sew that side. Just a little bit of interest in my, you know, booklet. And I'm going to do the same with this one. See, I have the stripes, the lines going the right way. So I've just added a little bit of copy paper on here. So let me do that. And then I'll come back and I will, actually I'll cut this to fit now. I will cut this to fit. So just bang that down. I only need 1 piece. Right, there we go. This is a beautiful paper. It feels like fabric, like it's very, yeah, it's nice. I like it. Okay, so we'll trim that. And I'll trim this edge on there without chopping everything up. And that, so I chop, there we go. Should fit nicely in here. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm going to do is run over to the sewing machine once more. I'm going to sew these 2 pages together. Once I've done that, guys, I will be back. Okay, guys, so what I have done is, let me turn this light on, see if it's going to work. I think it might be a bit, oh no, that's not too bad. Okay, so what I have done is I have sewn my pages. I've held all my pages together with one of these paper clips on both sides, as you can see. So they're nice and straight. And then I attached these to the actual book. And then I ran a straight stitch straight down the middle while I was over at the sewing machine. So that's holding all our pages in. And now that I'm on video, the dogs want to bark. Of course they do. They want their 3 minutes of fame. So anyway, so here's our little booklet that we've done here. So let me show you inside and show you what we've done. So as you know, we had our envelope, just sewing over the top. I'm not sure whether you can see. You can just barely make out what was underneath. So you know it's an envelope, but it's not so in your face. Yeah. Here's our little window with our fabric insert. There's some journaling page, and we've got our zigzag stitch right around, and I've done that after I've stuck this in. So as you know, I sewed down the sides and then stuck it in and then sewed right around the outside. So here's the pages that I've sewn together. So I've sewn there, and then I've sewn this bit on here. So that gives us a double sewing. Adds a little bit of interest, you know, to our little notebook. There's the Chinese mulberry paper / whatever it is there. And our lined paper with some more sewing, and that's obviously the middle. So there's 4 pages in this little booklet. And it's turned out quite lovely, guys. So there's that. So as you go along, these bits here that we've cut off the end of our envelope here. Let me just bring my little box of goodies over. These are all my journaling cards. And here, this is a little bit of inspiration. This is from the lovely Suzanne Johnson. I can't keep this in here. It's so pretty. Thank you, Suzanne. One of these are on their way to you, by the way, as a happy mail. So these are the ones that I have previously done. Some will be listed on my Etsy shop, so keep your eye out there if you're interested. And some will be sent out as happy mails. So there's the little booklet. This is one that I've made out of some parrots, and this is the bottom half of the envelope, this part here. Oop, so I've covered that in our, let me just move this up a little bit, move the camera up without knocking everything over. Okay, so I've made a journaling card to go inside, and also a bookmark / tag. So there's that. I will maybe be putting another journaling card in, we'll see. But that's one set. There's the second set there, journaling cards. As you can see, you can have a lot of fun with these. This is another little birdie here that we've done. There. And there we go. So there we go, guys. If you've enjoyed, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, share the love. And here's the one we've made today. Now, if everyone's watched this right to the end, as I know you all do because you just love me so much, this will be as a giveaway, this little book here. So leave a comment below. And I will randomly pick some names, as I do, from the comments, and one lucky winner could win this. So let's play the little giveaway game, shall we? Anyway, guys, this is the end result. If you like I said, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the little bell. I know I don't make enough videos. I'm working on that. Anyway, guys, until the next video, give your loved ones a hug. They're precious, and I will catch us all later. Bye for now.